This week. Thank you very much for your company. Make sure you hold on. We've got... Hi everyone, great to have your company this week on Checkered Flag. I'm David Tapp. Welcome along to another hour of power. And this week we come to you from Geelong's Avalon International Raceway. It's round 5 of the Autopro Super Sprint Series. We saw some fabulous action on Checkered Flag last year. With the opening 4 rounds of this tournament, we're looking forward to more of the same tonight. Stuart McCarthy is our pit reporter, and we'll be hearing from him frequently this evening. He'll catch up with all the winners and bring us the behind-the-scenes news. Here he is. Good evening, Stuart.
We're now here with Darren Maggs, the HM Headers pilot, Victoria 7 race car. Darren, we're in the back of the transporter. It was a furniture removalist transporter, but looking at it now, there's no way you'd think it was even a furniture removalist. It's a full-on race car transporter.
Yeah, Stewie, when we bought it a couple of years ago, it was just a dodgy-looking old furniture van, and a lot of long hours and hard work. We turned into a fairly nice-looking race car transporter.
We're standing in where the car obviously gets held. Just through this doorway here, we do have the sleeping quarters and travelling compartment where the guys, obviously, when they're travelling to Adelaide, because you do go over there a fair bit, need to have a snooze, obviously, on the way over, but it certainly makes it a lot easier to be able to travel around Australia and have a superb-looking truck and also sleeping quarters in there as well. Yeah,
it helps. Like, you know, you run on a fairly sort of tight budget. You can't afford to be stopping at motels and that sort of stuff, so it's got enough beds in there that most of the boys can have a sleep. Some of us get to sleep a little bit more comfortable than others. And and the outside sort of looks pretty good. And if you're trying to approach someone for a sponsor, well then you got something outside they can sign right, and it's a bit like a travelling billboard.
And as we look just down the right-hand side of the truck here, you've got the toolbox here, you've got racks for the front axles, and also the spare wheels hanging up top, obviously right across there. It certainly makes it a lot easier to get these parts out of the transport if they're needed.
Yeah, it is. Like, you don't realise how handy your truck comes in. Like, a while ago we had a truck, not this one, but our last truck broke down. We had to borrow another guy's truck to get to a race, and you get there and if your stuff's not where you think it is, it just makes it too hard if something does go wrong.
Darren, we're now down at the race car that you do pilot. Yep. Just down here beside our right-hand side, there's an engine warm-up. What is that actually doing sitting there running away at the moment?
Well, when Dad went to the States for the Outlaws last year, every single car there was running one. And it just heats your engine up, heats the oil up, and they reckon it saves a fair bit of wear on your engine. And so for the cost of bringing one of those home, we thought it was a good deal. And a lot of our races here do get a bit cold, especially around Easter time, and tonight's not the warmest of nights, so we put it on. And that runs from before the night, and as soon as we come in after a race, it goes back on again.
And what does it actually run on?
Kero, I think. Kero, yeah, definitely Kero.
Good to see you know what it actually runs on. Daz, all the best for the night, and hopefully we'll see you up front.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.
We're now here with David Swayn, the man that won round 2 of the Autopro Super Sprint Series at Avalon here about a month ago. David, we're back here for round 5. Must be feeling good about being the last start feature winner here.
Yeah, it was the last time we run over here. Just keep plodding around, see if we can get to the front again.
And that's what you done last time. You just plodded around and kept the car nice and straight. We're just having a look at the front wing on here. You've got the smaller style wing. A lot of the other guys are running bigger wings. Why are you running the smaller one?
We tried the larger one last year. For about 3 meetings in a row, and every time we went back to the same track with the same setting, it seemed to break the back end of the car loose. So we went back to the small one and we were right on track again.
Just the major difference in the wings, it's obviously just the side panels, but is there anything else on the front wings that make a difference?
No, I think that's the others might have a bit more of a scoop in them, but that's about all, I think.
Well, hopefully the smaller wing does good for you once again, as you did at round 2 here, and no doubt you'd love to be out front once again.
Hope so.
Thank you to Stuart McCarthy. There's some of the action in the pits with the tyre pressure gauge, important piece of race equipment. Now the grid in D&F Racing Products, heat number 1, Brown, Sheils, Nelson, Smith, Hough, Parr, Drew, Pitcher, Chippendall, Knight, Vogels and Charles Hunter. 12 cars lining up on the grid here. And I'm joined by our sprint car expert on C7 Sport, former driver Colin Farr, as we get set to send them on their way. Colin, in this first heat, it's been a great series so far, and as that shot shows, a huge crowd here tonight at Avalon International Raceway.
Yeah, David, huge crowd and another huge car count. 36 cars on board tonight. This series is week in, week out, and all around Australia has had some of the best car counts. As we see the boys just getting settled there as they put the yellow lights on. There's been a spin, contact with the wall.
Indeed, one of the drivers getting himself into trouble on the exit to turn number 2. Obviously, as sprint car fans watching the program would be aware, A lot of water used to prepare these predominantly clay racetracks, and probably just a lack of adhesion. There it is. I think it's car number 99, in fact. Jeff Drew.
Jeff Drew just getting up into the loose stuff there. Just enough to drag the car into the fence. This is really one of the hard points of the night for these guys. They get it there for the first heat, and the track's a bit greasy offline. And you can see what can happen.
Good crowd in at this excellent little racetrack at Geelong in Victoria. Very chilly conditions for this time of year. So it didn't happen the way we wanted it to. First time of asking Jeff Drew out of the event for the moment. Up front in 47, David Brown. Inside of the front row. Nice tight shot of him in the predominantly black car. We get set to send them away. Sheils on his outside. The run to the first corner will be intense. And it was the driver that started out of posse number 2, Troy Sheils, in car 36, that was the best to begin, and it's mayhem further back in the pack.
The track is really greasy up the top at the moment. You can see a lot of the guys in the first corner there sliding up track. So the guys will try and keep the car pretty low on the racetrack.
You talked about the fact that there are in excess of 30 cars here tonight for the 5th round of this series. That has been the overwhelming success of the tournament thus far, the fact that so many drivers are embracing it. And I think as a reflection of that, you've got Jeremy Warren all the way from Western Australia here supporting it yet again tonight. And
this series also, always we see a spin now as our leader, 47. Brown goes around.
Yep, he was the man that started on pole. Relative newcomer to sprint car racing in real terms is David Brown. Up the main straight, they run again. You'll find that Sheils is the race leader. Predominantly white car, number 36. There's 23 on screen. That's Marcus Nelson. He's a long way back in the pack at this stage of proceedings, but it's nice to have a look at the drivers. Doesn't matter where they're running on the circuit.
As you mentioned, David, a lot of cars, but also such an even competition. We've had different winners from just about every round, and the series is really wide open at the moment.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. The likes of Judd and Van Bremen, the point score. We'll bring you up to date on that, obviously at the completion of this round, but certainly the likes of Van Bremen, Judd, Thomsen, Bulmer, Jeremy Warren, who I've already alluded to, the West Australian, Matthews, Ramsdale. They're just some of the drivers involved in a great battle at the top of the leaderboard.
See there, that shot there, number 14 in the night car is Brown in the 47, works his way back through the field again after having that spin whilst leading.
All his problems on the back straight. Car has spun and was very lucky not to be collected on the way through. 23, we've seen some of him. It's Marcus Nelson. And another look at it. All on his own.
Yeah, just running high again. As we mentioned, the track is a bit greasy up top there. Very, very lucky not to have some major contact as the cars go inside and on the outside.
Yeah, there was only some minor contact, wasn't there? So Troy Sheils will lead them away. Race restart. If you haven't seen sprint car racing before, expect the race times to be significantly quicker as the track starts to dry out. At the moment, it's a little like a skating rink out there, which is quite normal with the opening couple of heats, given the nature of clay racetracks. This circuit at Geelong has been operational for well over 2 decades now, constructed and promoted by the Drew family, who also own a very big plumbing business here in Geelong. And they've been real survivors in this sport. It's a tough sport too. Anyone that is involved in promoting against the weather, dicing with the weather problems, is a brave person.
The catchy shot now is a 70 car. Vogels has come all the way from the back of the pack to get around in second position, looking quite strong at the moment as he takes it right up to Sheils, leading.
Likewise, Pitcher in car number 83 started back in position number 8. So the restarts have not hurt the cause of those drivers, but look at Vogels. He is really serving it up to the leader, Sheils. Vogels will now make a run on the inside. Sheils drives defensively and slams the door shut in his face. Last corner, checkered flag time. Sheils got there. It was a heady drive on the last lap. He knew what he had to do, and he got it done. Troy Sheils in car number 36, the race winner. John Vogels second, Alan Pitcher third. Good drives by Vogels and Pitcher to storm home after starting a long way back in the pack early.
You'd have to say that Vogels was the man on the move. Probably those few yellow lights, those few incidents that brought the stoppages out. So we see a replay of that first lap incident. So Drew got into the wall. Very lucky not to have a big flip there.
That would have actually hurt. He really went in awkwardly and slapped the concrete wall. His neck would have got a real workout. And this, of course, was Marcus Nelson in 23. That was the stoppage just a couple of laps from the finish line. Brown in 50. No, I'm sorry, Brent Hough in 56. And let's now go to Stuart McCarthy, who's with the race winner.
Heat 1 winner, Troy Sheils. Troy, come out off the first heat. Must be good to win here at Avalon.
Oh, yeah, it's always good to have a win. If I didn't start off the front row, I didn't want to be a little bit disappointed. We did get away a little bit because we ripped the bird cage out of the, Jacob's ladder out of the bird cage, and we got a flat tyre. As soon as we got down there, it was pretty well flat.
Well, no doubt you'll put on a good show later on. Well done.
Oh, thank you very much. I hope so.
All right, Heat 2 now. SprintCarWorld.com. Heat number 2. It's Mags, Ramsdale, Judd, good field this, Warren, Barlee, Dalton, Murcott, Matthews, Swayn, Van Bremen, Pitcher and Barlee. Great field. In fact, a number of drivers here that have tasted champagne on the rostrum at previous rounds of the Autopro Series in the summer of 2000, 2001.
So we see there is Francis Ramsdale definitely got the better of the start against young Mags in the 7 HM Headers car.
Ron Dalton was up there running strongly as well. We watched them head down the back straight. Darren Maggs, Stuart McCarthy spoke to him at the start of the night. The car's having a bit of a push, not handling perfectly at this stage of the game.
It's a lovely turned out machine, the black and white number 7 HM Headers car. The Maggs family having a long history in the sport. Jack Maggs, the father, ran the car. Garry Rush drove for him for quite a long time.
Great race up front here. 71 is David Murcott. Hasn't he come from a long way back? Started position 7 on the grid. You can see now the pace of these cars has increased quite dramatically since the opening heat on the program. Track drying out, and as a result, the lap times are tumbling.
It's a fierce battle now for second place, but it's Frank Ramsdale in the 21 car doing it quite easily out in front, but it's the battle up for position 2 at the moment between Mags.
Exactly. Van Bremen, the I&V truck repairs entry. In 44 is Ron Dalton ahead of him. Nicely turned out car, the 44, red and white and luminous green. And a slower car now. Oh, gee, that was close. 84 was Pitcher. Don't think he realised that the race leader, Ramsdale, was coming around him so quickly.
Ramsdale already working his way through the lap traffic. Just seeing that shot there that he's actually pulled out quite a big lead now over Mags.
A few spots of rain in Geelong. There's the 84 machine being driven by Graeme Pitcher, and up on the inside goes David Murcott. Now we go back up front to our race leader.
Murcott must have got his way past Mags there, now into second position. So it's been a big drive off the back of the pack. There's Mags now coming under siege from Judd. They're all over him as they make contact going down the back straight.
Yeah, pretty physical old race. They're leaning and bashing and crashing. So Judd now moves up to second on the circuit. So it's Ramsdale, Judd, and Mags has been relegated back to third after starting on pole position. He wouldn't be happy with that. There he is now, Mags drag racing down the back straight with Pitcher. Off the final corner, though, across the line, checkered flag time, Ramsdale, Jeff Judd second, and Darren Maggs third. Good race. There was plenty of fender leaning going on.
Track surface there is really working very well. We've had 2 heat races, and 2 times guys have come from the back to work their way into second place. As we'll see another replay here at the start. A disappointing race for Maggs. Coming out of position 1, he would have thought in that field, I think he would have thought he was a good chance to win this, but dropping way back through the field. But it was Ramsdale in the 21 that did it quite easily in the end.
He's been pretty consistent, Frank Ramsdale, no doubt about that. And Stuart McCarthy is with him. And Ramsdale, I reckon, would be delighted.
Heat 2 winner, Francis Ramsdale. Call you Chopper. Come turn up in a chopper last time we were here. Must be good to be able to put on a good show and take out Heat 2.
Yeah, oh, it's fantastic. This engine's a real credit to the boys at Hocking Engines. It's only a little thing and it's pretty old, and we've patched it up because I've got no money, but it's going like a steam train tonight.
And you said there before you had a little bit of milky oil. Just let the race fans know what that was.
Yeah, we had to head off last night, and we had to put it on a hurry, and no one could sell us a head gasket, so we had to use a second-hand one, which no one wanted to do, but just to be here we did. And the oil got a bit milky, but we put some chemi weld in it, and she's clean as anything now and going well.
Well, there we have it. This is what these guys try and do to get out on the racetrack. Well done, Frank, and let's see you up front in the A-main.
I hope so. Thanks for that.
Understandable that you'd have no money. It's an expensive old business, sprint car racing. Trailer ads. Heat 3 now, the Autopro Series. Grid positions, Thomsen, Russell, Scott, McCubbin, Moule, Jones, Bulmer, Johnston, Scott, Stephenson, Parr, and Docherty.
You may have just noticed too, after that last race, we didn't have on our display, we didn't have Murcott in second, was where you see him run. He actually got penalised for passing on the infield, so renegated back to 4th position.
Thanks, Colin Farr, bringing us up to date with the latest. We get set to send this howling field of sprint cars away in heat number 3. And once again, a fairly good battle up front. Thomsen and Russell are fighting, disputing first place.
Thomsen in the green and black car in second position at the moment, going to the high side as he works his way right around the top. Great passing move there. As we noticed in the earlier heats, the cars couldn't get up high on the racetrack, but the track surface is starting to come in and they can run a bit wider on the racetrack.
When you were racing sprint cars, Colin, as part of the Farr Racing stable, you visited this track frequently. How do you rate it?
It was a great racetrack, this one. We had a lot of success here, especially my brother Robert ran a lot of Easter Trail events here over the years. But the Drew family really put a lot of effort into this speedway, and it's a great surface and not generally provides for some really good racing. Yeah, it's a type of surface that can be prepared to play host to just about any speedway division, and that is exactly what occurs. There's plenty of variety down here for the race fans. We had a quick shot there of Colin Bulmer in car 12. Now back up towards the front of the pack. It's Thomsen now, who dropped back to second at the start, but as you see him take that move around the outside now, pulls away in the lead in the green and black 32 car. He's a brave boy for running with a green race car, not perceived to be a lucky colour in motor racing. Now we drift back to take a look at Blair Jones. He started the event in position number 6. Tell you, this class is just so strong. So many new guys coming into the sport, so many new cars. Even from round to round, we see new cars pop up. Last lap, we saw our leader overtake Graeme Docherty. There's a problem now for Blair Jones pulling out of the race. He'll take no further part. Meanwhile, Ian Thomsen only has a couple of corners to negotiate before he takes victory in heat number 3. Did it comfortably in the end, winning by about 35 metres, I'd suggest. Darren Russell, rather, will get second, and Colin Bulmer third in car number 12. Good look there at Docherty. Nicely turned out machine, but he finished well back in the pack. Winner was Ian Thomsen. Too good for them. Here he is.
Heat 3 winner, Ian Thomsen. Tomo, car was dialed into perfection out there, and Heat 3 must be good to win.
Yeah, he's guessed it pretty good, and as long as we can keep it up for the rest of it, I mean, like, yeah, heat races grouse to get you up in the points and get you in the A main, or towards the A, but it's the last race that counts, so that's the one we're aiming for.
And we had a little bit of rain there just before that heat went out. Must have made that track a whole lot grippier and a lot faster.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be a bit slick at first, and yeah, as soon as we got all that wet stuff off the top, yeah, she was beautiful. It's grouse.
All the best, Tomo.
No worries, thanks, mate.
G'day, I'm David Murcott, and you're watching Checkered Flag on C7.
Thanks for being with us this week on Checkered Flag here on C7 Sport as we welcome you back to Geelong's Avalon International Raceway. It's heat 4 of the Autopro series, now Maxim Printing, bringing us the action in heat number 4. Barlee on pole, then Vogels, Van Bremen, Chippendall, Matthews, Drew, Dalton, Hough, Warren, Nelson, Ramsdale, and David Brown, driver of car number 47. Racing's been good so far. We did have a drop of rain in our previous segment with the racetrack starting to dial in more. The rain, I guess, Colin, will only make it quicker. Yeah, that'll help to keep the track in. Oh, we see now the 56 car. Hough's had a big one into the fence there as the yellows come out. Big crash. And obviously they'll take some time to get that driver and car out of the way before they go back racing. We can see the man involved in the accident. So we're trying to now catch a replay of the incident. Car had a lot of damage. He must have went in hard. See, that Conley went straight ahead. He just caught it at the last minute. Oh, just managed to get onto the back of the car there on its side and managed to keep it back on its wheels. But that was a hard hit. There's a lot of damage to that car. These guys will have a lot of work cut out for him to get that back on the track later tonight. That hurts. Driver now out of the car. And that is good news. Yep, you see there as he pulls his neck brace off. That padding there helps the driver's helmet stay upright in those incidents of hard impact. Yeah, Brent Hough, and the car being removed by the crane. That concrete wall, I can tell you from experience, you don't want to slam that too often. It hurts. Unforgiving. We see now is a 70 car. Vogels, the man we watched run from the back in the first heat, into second position, gets away well out of position 2. Doesn't he? What? He's said, see you later, boys. Blown them off during the early stages of this race. Leading by 20 metres already. There's Warren, the West Australian, in car number 52. He's involved in a great battle. Further back in the pack, Vogels is storming away with this one, though. Doing a good job there, just keeping the car about 2/3 the way up the racetrack, which seems to be the quickest way around at the moment as we get a shot there of the 6. Mike Van Bremen in the number 6 now in position 2 in the IMV truck repairs car. Lovely turned out machine. Yeah, it's a hot looking car. Always been a fan of the way he presents his machines, and this season, absolutely no exception. 61. glimpse of that driver. Alan Barlee started on pole, has dropped back a couple of posies. There's our race leader, Vogels. This track is starting to come in beautifully. The cushion's being created up top. You can see the darker racing strip from about mid-track upwards, and all of the drivers running up there now, planting their right rear column in that spongy stuff, and they're getting maximum speed as a result of.
See the shot there as Brown is on the trotting track on the dirt track around the infield here. Not getting much drive out of that. We see now as a 70 car again. Vogels starting to get into lap traffic. See there as they run into the turn, the cars are really running about 2/3 up the racetrack, which is where is the optimum spot at the moment, because the track is starting to dry out. It will slowly move up track as we've got a shot of Ramsdale now in the 21 machine.
Ramsdale winning his opening heat tonight, actually lifting the front wheels there as he exited turn 2 for the run down the back straight. That would certainly demonstrate the fact that there's plenty of grip in this track. She's not slick just yet. Last lap now for our leader, and our leader is Vogels. Chippendall runs second. Van Bremen is third on the circuit currently. You'll find that's the way they'll finish as we watch going across the line Ron Dalton in car number 44. Our leader down the back straight one more time. Vogels. Now a break back to Warren, the West Australian driver.
Done really well this season. His first run. Come over here to campaign the whole series in the Autopro series and doing a really good job. See a replay there. Vogels was your winner. Chippendall in second and Van Bremen taking out third.
Here's the replay now.
You notice at the start there, you'll see the car running second, the 61 car, how flat that top wing is on that car, which obviously didn't help him at all as he dropped back through the field.
Yeah, we can talk about that in more detail shortly. The wing setting is vital to the car's overall handling characteristics. Here's Stuart McCarthy.
Heat 4 winner, Johnny Vogels. John, the car looked ultra smooth out there.
And also,
yeah, it was handling quite well for once. We got it all sorted out this time.
You've had a bit of trouble with the motor for the start of the season. Must feel good to have the motor running quite well now.
Yeah, the motor we ran last time, it died a slow death. Now we've got a new one in and it seems to be running very fine.
And who's the engine builder?
John Sidney put this one together.
So no doubt you'd like to thank him, and hopefully the car and the motor stays together in one piece and you put on a show for the race fans.
Yeah, I'd like to thank him very much, and definitely I'd like to thank the crew and all our sponsors. Thank you.
There you go, race fans.
All right, now advancing to the next event on the program is the Autopro Dash. Top 6 drivers, points-wise, to contest this event. It's very important in terms of the finishing order in this race, Colin Farr, is where they will start on the grid in the all-important A main tonight.
You see now as they take the green, it's two guys we've seen run away with the heat races. It's Thomsen and Vogels running 1-2. Back in the pack, that's Colin. Bulmer. Murcott made contact.
Gee, that could have been nasty. Bulmer taking a moment to get things gathered up again after almost losing it big time. There he is up high on the circuit.
That incident didn't help him one bit. He's managed to drop back a couple of spots, and it was Murcott who ended up into third position in the yellow.
The Dash is one of the most, well, popular races in any form of sprint car racing. Doesn't matter whether it's the Auto Pro Series or any other sprint car tournament. We obviously saw similar examples in our live and exclusive coverage on C7 of the recent World Series Sprint Cars Championship. Taken out for the 4th time by Brooke Tatnell. If you haven't caught up with the news yet, the Australian Sprint Car Championship conducted last Saturday night at the Brisbane International Speedway. It was won by Skip Jackson. Second was Garry Brazier, himself a 4 times winner. And third, Max Dumsney, a 2-time winner. And we hope to bring you some highlights of the Australian Sprint Car Championship on C7 in coming weeks. Next week on the show, you'll see Speedway Motorcycling, the New South Wales Championship, from the Lynx Power Parts Gosford Showground Speedway. Look forward to your company then as we see John Vogels exiting turn number 4. He'll emerge the victor in the Auto Pro Dash, and subsequently will start tonight's main event on pole position. Thomsen second, Murcott third.
David Murcott was really giving Ian Thomsen a hard time there for second spot towards the end. As we catch a replay at the start, it was Vogel got away better on the bottom. It was Thomsen tried to run around the outside, but just drifted a little bit high there. You see there, let's watch contact here between Murcott as he comes off the bottom of the track, gets a bit of drive and just makes contact with the back of Bulmer.
Could have been nasty. And see Bulmer, well, it was almost like riding the White Rapids, wasn't it? For a moment, he was, well, out of control, if I can use that expression.
He wouldn't have known what was going on behind him. No rear vision mirrors on these cars. And next thing you know, he's facing the fence.
C main, Docherty, Dalton, Carr, Pitcher, Drew, Brown, Jones, Stephenson. 8 cars to contest this event.
These guys will be chasing a transfer spot to try and... well, you've seen contact in the first turn there. Oh, up and over.
Oh,
slow but painful. Slow but painful roll over that one.
I like that. Slow but painful. I'd suggest slow and expensive as well.
Yeah, that's normally the case too with these cars. When they do fall over like that very slowly, they tend to even tear up more stuff. As we see contact between the 84 car, 47 had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Brown up and over. He's dusted, busted and disgusted at Avalon International Raceway.
You've just seen that shot there. The back wheels were still spinning when that car was upside down. That's not a good thing for the engine in these cars at all.
Main thing is that the driver's A-OK, so we've got a complete race restart. Docherty, green car inside, set to send them away. Who will it be this time? Battle for the first corner is reasonably intense. Dalton back in second. So it's Docherty, then Dalton.
Docherty doing a good job out in front at the moment as we see the 84 car a Pitcher in third position.
That's Graeme Pitcher running a little tentatively down the back straight. This is the C main, the Hoosier Tyres C main. I'm just trying to ascertain how many of them will transfer through to the B main. I'd suggest more than likely the top 4 drivers here will transfer through.
So really, this is a reflection on how strong this series is. To run a C main at a normal show, a normal round of the Autopro series, just shows how many cars it is and how hard it is to try and get through to the feature.
We saw a shot there of Jeff Drew in car 99. Now we're back up front with Docherty, our race leader. There's Pitcher under siege from Drew. Drew currently runs 4th on the circuit, so Pitcher 3rd. Dalton is 2nd. Docherty is the race leader. We're going to see the checkered flag in just a moment as these cars negotiate the back straightaway.
There might only be 4 cars in the race, but they're really fighting it out for 3rd position at the moment. See now as our race leader, 50, Docherty takes the win.
Certainly does. Dalton 2nd, Pitcher 3rd, Jeff Drew 4th. They will all go to the back of the B main now.
Would suggest that having those other cars drop out in that first lap incident is why all these guys are going to now transfer. See a replay at the start. Docherty managed to get through on the bottom in the first turn, and that was where it stayed. He ran away with it from there.
Good looking car too of Docherty's. It's been a real eye catcher from the start of this series. Speaking of the Autopro Super Sprint Series, you've got to give a big rap to Ian Vale and the guys from the SRA, Sprintcar Racing Association of Victoria, who have put this together. The administration, the club, the promoters, the competitors, the sponsors. It's been a Herculean effort. As we look now at the grid for the B main, Van Bremen, Chippendall, Smith, Knight, Johnson, Swayn, Pitcher, Barlee, Hunter, Matthews, Warren and Parr. In fact, we do have 16 cars taking part in this event, I can tell you. Also involved is Docherty, Drew, Pitcher and Brown.
First 4 cars will transfer from this one to the A main.
Yeah, Van Bremen wouldn't fancy the fact, or wouldn't enjoy the fact that he's actually in the B main. Highly regarded driver. Jumped away when he saw the green flag, and he certainly is going to be the driver to catch in this one. Ooh, some potential problems further back in the pack as some of these drivers find the fast way around.
Mike Van Bremen running out in front. Might not be too concerned. If he's come out of position 1 in this race, be pretty confident of winning this. That'll put him out of position 13 in the feature. He would have started out of position 12 had he picked up a couple of more points from his heat. He probably would prefer to run this race, as we see now. It's
Drivers
47.
47. He'll be filthy with himself.
Brown's had enough.
David Brown
got upside down in that C main. Managed to get back out in this race with a new top wing on board. 43 car at Chippendall there, doing some 360s for the crowd on the infield.
Yeah, he won't be happy either. He started out of position number 2. Well, boy, what a waste of a grid posse that was for Garry. He won't be happy with that at all. He'll be giving himself uppercuts. That's a pretty difficult thing to do when you're wearing arm restraints as well. And driving at 140 clicks, mind you.
And tearing tear-offs off at the same time now, as we see Mike Van Bremen here really getting into the traffic, and they're too wide. He's going to find it hard to get through. He can't waste any time here because the guys running 2nd and 3rd will be on him in no time. Cars
all over the circuit, bit hard to know where to look. Race leader. Oh, another one's looped it. Fair dinkum, what's happening in this race? Graeme Pitcher. They're all having brain fate. Amber lights on.
Pitcher's been struggling all night to come to grips with that car.
What are you trying to say?
Ill handling machine, maybe.
Well said. You've done it well. Colin, diplomat far.
See a replay. There was cars going everywhere in the first turn. Look at the amount of cars running in this B main. It'll make it awesome when we get time for the A mains. We see a car get sideways on the back straightaway. Could have been another big incident.
Yeah, that was in the first lap of the race. I think I said at the time, being kind, trying to find the fast way around. A couple of them having a distinct lack of adhesion out there. Track has maybe a little greasy on the low line because there has been rain on and off here tonight in Geelong. And it's obviously catching a few of them out. The place to run is mid-track upwards, isn't it, Colin?
Yeah, you can see in this shot there, you can see how shiny the track's getting on the bottom, as we see there as Pitcher rings it around. Look at this huge back tyres on these cars. Still struggling to get adhesion to this track.
So it's a race restart in the B main. The Valvoline B main. Top 4 drivers to transfer to tonight's main event. The sprint cars have become very popular on C7 Sport. This series has been fantastic. The QSSS, but obviously our live coverage of World Series and events like the Gough and Gilmore doing the sports profile, no harm at all. Proven to be a ratings winner. The big V8s, the thundering V8s, 372 cubic inches. What was that, Colin?
At the moment, we have the first 4 spots taken up by Mike Van Bremen. Second position, Smith. Phil Johnson there in the 55 KSC car, and Swayn in 20 in 4th position. They're your 4 that will transfer at the moment, but keep your eye on position 4.
The Speedway Fiberglass INV truck repairs entry. Mike Van Bremen, the driver, once again clears out as they get the action underway in this race restart. And the majority of these drivers running Indian file at the moment, they're spread out all over the place already.
We see now, as you mentioned earlier, David, these guys are starting to move up on the racetrack. That bottom line getting a little bit slick, a little bit shiny, as you can see on those camera shots as it dries out through the night. You see someone there has spun on the infield again.
Here's Chippendall having a look up on the inside of the driver in car 14, Peter Knight. And we do have a problem this time.
Rod Matthews.
Yeah, Rod Matthews. Nicely turned out car. I seem to recall him running very strongly here at Geelong just before Christmas. I think from memory it was round 2 of the Autopro series. He had a pretty good meeting. Not so hot tonight, Rod Matthews. Away we go. Van Bremen has to do it all over again.
We've seen there as Phil Johnson, the 55 KFC machine, was in 3rd, having a go for 2nd, as we see a spin back in the field. Sure that might bring the yellows out again.
Bit of a nightmare. Just wondering what's happening here with these drivers, Colin. It's very much nose to tail, running around on the low line, and it is causing problems for guys.
Yeah, it's hard, Dave. When these guys, you know, you're running close with the guy in front of you, the first thing you want to do to get past him is drop the foot to the floor, but with the track being a little bit slippery, your aggression can take over from the thinking about what the rear tyres are doing.
Van Bremen leads them away again, and he goes straight to the low line too. So the mover in this race right now is Phil Johnson in the KFC entry, up disputing 2nd place. That's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th that you're currently looking at. Up on the inside comes Adrian Parr in 77.
And that is the transfer spot these guys are fighting for. That's that all-important 4th position.
There's Dalton in car number 44. He's been fairly consistent tonight, regularly running in the top part of the field. Gee, a couple of them are getting very close together. The desperation stakes is now starting to emerge in the B main. As was pointed out by Colin Farr, you've got to finish in the first 4 if you want your night to continue and have a shot for maximum points and prize money in the A main. Last lap approaching in this event. Oh, another driver has gone sideways. It's Alan Pitcher. He's pitched her onto the infield. Goodness me.
The car just pulled a wheel stand there towards the end as he went off the slippery track surface and got onto the grass, which obviously had a little bit more drive than the racetrack at the moment.
Yeah, the track's gone absolutely black on the low line, and certain parts of the high line too. You can see on the straights where they all run up there before approaching the corner. And with a spot of rain, it's really like skating on ice. There's the checkered flag. Van Bremen did it comfortably in the end. Ian Smith 2nd, and Phil Johnson will be 3rd, and we'll recap those results for you right now. So they go through to the A main, and the 4th driver to qualify through was David Swayn.
20 car. The winner of the race was obviously Van Bremen, but he'll also be the man that's he's had a good chance to look at the racetrack, know what the track's doing. He'll have to make the adjustments to the car, where the other 12 guys that are already locked into this feature race haven't had a chance to get out on this surface, which we've seen deteriorate just in these last couple of races. So we'll keep an eye on Van Bremen coming from position 13 in the A main.
First thing a lot of these drivers will be doing is reducing the tyre pressure in their rear tyres. That might help them stop spinning quite as much. Adhesion or lack of is a real problem out there at the moment. As you look at a replay of car number 83 heading into the infield, Alan Pitcher for an unscheduled pit stop. We're taking a break and coming back with the A main. Stay with us. To this week's episode of Checkered Flag, round 5 of the Autopro Super Sprint Series. The A main is next over 25 laps. Vogels, Thomsen, Murcott, McCubbin, Bulmer, Russell, Ramsdale, Scott, Maggs, Moule, Sheils, Jeff Judd. He's got a bunch of work to do starting out of position number 12 as we get them underway. Van Bremen, Smith, Johnson and Swayn, by the way, starting out of positions 13 through to 16.
As they go for it, Vogels and Thomsen going at it hard in turn 1. It was Thomsen around the outside. Vogels went back through on the inside in the 70 car.
They're running quickly. Race record, by the way, for 25 laps around this venue, held by David Anderson. 5 minutes 27.16. There won't be a race record tonight because we've had a stoppage already.
See a replay here at the start. There's contact back in the field with Maggs doing 1, 2, 3 360s. And just keeping the car alive.
There just seems to be a complete lack of grip out there tonight.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to find it hard. They've run their last heat probably about 25 minutes ago, and they've come out now for the main, and the track's deteriorated a lot, and they're going to find it hard to come to grips with it for the first couple of laps.
They're running a controlled right rear tyre in this series. I wonder what choices they have in terms of compounds.
Well, they don't have any choice. That's the whole idea of that tyre, is that they're all going to run the same compound tyre, so it's all going to be a matter of setting these cars up to suit the conditions.
Well, it's obviously a hard compound tyre, because it's just not hanging on tonight. Oh, look at this. It's chaos at Avalon International Raceway. Darren Russell in car 30. His machine looked like a pogo stick. It came hopping onto the infield, and you can see the front end's been just about torn out of the thing. Driver's okay, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the end of his night. See, it's got a flat left rear tyre, and the front suspension's broken on that car. Climbed all over the 47 machine, the spun car of Brown, left sitting on the racetrack.
Another look.
See there as Thomsen in second place has had his front wing come loose. He got all sideways there. That was the start of it. 13 car with nowhere to go. And there's a chain reaction through the field.
Yeah, gee whiz. That was nasty. Having said that, it could have been a lot worse. And just look at the black shiny part of this racetrack. It almost looks like a bitumen oval here tonight.
Thomsen, that front wing's come right off that car of Thomsen's now, as he's actually somehow got himself into the lead.
Now, when you're racing on a circuit where there is a complete lack of grip and you lose your front wing as well, tell me what that'd be like, ex-driver.
He'd know that as well. He would see that from in the car. You can just see the edges of that front wing, so he'll know that it's off, and he may have moved that top wing a little bit further forward to compensate, but he's going to have a battle on his hands.
But this is almost like a night at the ballet. Yep. I mean, it's very graceful, Swan Lake-like. They're spinning and they're gliding all over the place.
You'd have to be looking hard now at Thomsen in the second position in the yellow 71 car. He can see too, Thompson's got no front wing and he's going to struggle. See now McCubbin in the 13 car.
Yeah, he is struggling. There's Ian Thomsen, car number 32. Doing a hell of a job, it's got to be said, in a car minus a front wing. It really would be, well, a challenge to say the very least. And I reckon his elbows would be flashing in the cockpit to the point where he would get cramp in just a moment or two.
We can see there too, he's sticking to the bottom of the racetrack, which is probably the smartest thing. If he moves up track and he has any sort of problem at all with that front of the car lifting off the ground, he'll be in the fence before he knows it.
Yeah, good point. He's got to drive conservatively. Car number 6, we had a quick shot of him, Van Bremen, who had to start this race out of position number 13, so he's got a bunch of work to do. I guess he'd just be focusing on a top 6 finish. We go back to Maggs in car 7. And he's looking for racing room on the inside of Ian Smith in car 57.
You see there's the shot there of the black 7 car of Maggs. The top wing pulled all the way back on that car, as opposed to Thomsen out in front, who's had to pull his wing all the way forward to try and compensate for no front wing. So some real different setups out there at the moment.
Hard track on engines, Colin. They're really just spinning. You can see the smoke starting to pour off the right rears. They've got so much horsepower, these cars, 700 plus horses. They cannot get it to the ground on this track tonight.
It's really hard psychologically to do this race. You've got to actually go slower to go faster. If you can just pull your foot back off the pedal a bit and try and stop spinning those back wheels so much, you'll start to pass cars.
Yeah, very good point. We just saw Ramsdale involved in a fairly good battle with Van Bremen. There is Van Bremen in car number 6.
Van Bremen's working his way through the field. We spoke earlier about him coming through the B main. He had a chance to look at this racetrack just before the feature. Obviously made some adjustments, and it's going to work well for him in this race.
Murcott running strongly in car number 71 up front. Van Bremen involved rather in a great battle with Frank Ramsdale in car number 21. Now smoke pouring off the left rear. You don't see that very often, do you?
No, you don't. The right rear generally does all the work on these cars. You see that shot there. You can just see the smoke coming off the back tyres. This track is really, really... You can see how shiny it is in that camera shot there. These guys are just like skating on ice at the moment.
Yeah, it's a tough old ask tonight. And, you know, we've had a combination of a track that was probably rolled too hard and then some rain as well. And it's really turned out to be a difficult assignment for drivers this evening. There's Ramsdale in 21. Car 70 being driven.
It's Vogels, who started at position 1. He's obviously struggling a little bit with setup to get any drivers. He's actually slipped back through the field a little bit.
Yeah, well, Ramsdale has just passed Vogels to secure 6th on the racetrack at this stage of proceedings. So despite a pole position start, man on screen has drifted back a fair way into the field. Here's our leader, Murcott, about to challenge.
Really running it very close to Swayn there around the outside. This is the really hard part for Murcott. He can't get too excited. Can't make any contact with any of these guys. Needs to keep the car straight. Just pick them off one lap at a time.
It's not what you'd call a typical advertisement for sprint car racing tonight. If this is the first time you've seen them, believe me, it's not the best example of just how great a spectacle this can be. This track is a nightmare for the drivers. They can't get the horsepower to the ground at all. They're skating all over the place, so they're driving very conservatively. You can see the glowing disc on that car if you look beneath the rear end.
Yeah, this is a track conditions where you're really going to use the brakes to keep the car on the right part of the racetrack. See there, Murcott's doing a great job. I mean, it might not be have to be the bravest driver out there tonight to win, but you'd have to be one of the smartest just to use the throttle the right amount, pick the right part of the racetrack. See there is 71 car. Actually won last week in Tasmania, the big 20,000 the win show down there. So he's really hit form lately.
Absolutely. Tony Moule in 53, long way back in the pack. He's running about 10th or 11th on the circuit at the moment, and gee, they're driving around so slowly compared to what the normal pace would be for sprint car racing around this circuit. And we certainly saw their normal speed, you know, I guess around heat 3 earlier on our program tonight. Right now, it's just a battle to keep yourself in one piece.
Just seen the camera shot there as that tyre slowly deflated, run down the back straightaway. Probably see him have to retire to the infield in a minute as he tries to stay out on the track. See Swayn in the 20 car in shot now.
Yeah, Ian Smith just ahead of him. They're all just hoping to see the checkered flag. It'll be a tough job physically driving on this.
And, I mean, some of these guys would have to be getting concerned with their actual tyres staying up, because I mean, if they keep gassing it too hard through this black stuff, these tyres could quite easily blow.
There's Thomsen in 32. Oh, there's one now. You've just said it. Well called, Colin Parr. The man's a dead set freak. What else can you predict?
God, he's doing a lot of damage as he's driving that car off to the infield there, tearing the rear suspension out.
It was like a trampoline, wasn't it?
See, now Thomsen's done a great job. He's still running in 3rd position there as Bulmer in front of the white 12 car. Still doing it without a front wing. Really putting a lot of these guys to shame to run in the top 3.
Yeah, it's been quite a drive. I mean, when you talk about driver ability in races, we often talk about racetracks that bring everyone back to a level playing field. Well, I guess that track is one of those tonight, but with the front wing problems that he's got, i.e. lack of, none, it's been a heck of a drive.
You would probably find it even harder, David, if the track was really, really sticky tonight and bumpy, because the front of the car would tend to come off the ground a lot more. So maybe the track conditions are helping me a little bit to keep the car in that position, but it's a credit to him.
There's Swayn in the Pet Treats Hungry Hound entry. He did win a round of the Autopro Series before Christmas, so he's had a pretty good season. We will recap you at the completion of this race on the top 7 point scorers at the completion of 5 rounds, and we don't have far to go. You'll find it'll be Murcott, Bulmer and Thomsen. You're currently looking at Thomsen, who will finish 3rd. That is quite a remarkable performance given the challenges that he faced in this race. So it was Murcott, Bulmer, Thomsen. Jeff Judd finished 4th. That was a big drive after starting from position 12 in the race. Van Bremen likewise, who finished officially 5th after starting from position number 13, as we replay some of the highlights, some of the chaos early in that race for you.
There's chaos rear cars doing more 360s tonight than you would see at a burnout show at Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. There's Ramsdale in 21 and Van Bremen in 6. Van Bremen knew he just had to keep the car on the black stuff in one piece and he was able to pick up a lot of spots in that race.
Good drive by Mike. He's come through the B main, and he's picked his way through the field back up to 5th position. And he's one of the main contenders in this series too, so there's some all-important points there for him tonight.
Don't forget, on next week's episode of Checkered Flag, we've got 500cc Speedway motorcycles. It's the Schweppes New South Wales Solo Championship from the Lynx Gosford Showground Speedway. We'll take a look at the points before we say farewell on this week's program. We'll also hear from our winning driver with Stuart McCarthy in the pits. But that's one of the slowest sprint car races I can ever recall. Here's the points for you at the completion of 5 rounds. Thomsen the leader, Bulmer, Van Bremen, Judd, Ramsdale, Warren, Matthews. Look on the right-hand side, you can see just how tight it is in the Autopro series with many rounds remaining. Thanks for your company this week. Here's Stuart McCarthy with our race winner.
Round 5 feature winner here at Avalon for the Autopro Super Sprint Series. David Murcott had that car nailed to that track beautifully out there tonight.
Yeah, Dave Sharman, the crew chief, did a really good job of setting it up, and like I said in the interview out there, it's really nice to drive when the car's good and you've got a good car and a good crew chief, so it made it really easy.
How was the track conditions?
A little drier than what I think everyone liked. I sort of thought before the final that to catch a few of them out, so we just tried to bide our time a little bit and hang in there and survive.
We wish you all the best for the rest of the series.
Thanks very much, I really enjoyed it.
The man that come home second in the race tonight, 3 consecutive seconds in a row for Colin Bulmer. Cole, certainly up there on the points now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see actually where the points are after tonight. I think Mick come in 5th, so I think it's going to be about 20 odd points probably between all 3 of us, so it's getting pretty tight up the front.
Certainly great for the series to see these guys, everybody being so consistent and seeing a different feature winner again. We've had 4 different feature winners so far. Certainly shows how strong this series is.
Oh, that's right. You know, it's sort of the same group of guys always up there, but yeah, 4 different winners now, so yeah, the series is going great. I mean, it's great for the Victoria, so, you know, I can't ask for a better thing except for us to get first next week.
Exactly right. Get first and have that car up front. We wish you all the best for the rest of the series. Colin Bulmer.
Thanks, Jerry. Good one. Cheers.
The man that come home in 3rd spot, Ian Thomsen. Tomo, the start of the race had to come in together. Your front wing come loose. You got called in field to get the front wing removed, but the car seemed to handle quite well still out there on the racetrack without the front wing.
Yeah, I think it helped us a bit and helped transfer weight to the back, and whether it did or it didn't, yeah, we're still 35 cars here tonight, and at the start of the night you're thinking if I can just get up there. So I just can't win one, but it's going to come, I tell you, it's got to come. But to cut 35 cars and we come home 3rd, so you can't squawk about that at all.
And we can't complain about the Autopro Super Sprint Series. The car count that we've had so far is just fantastic, and who knows, it's only going to get bigger and better.
That's it. I mean, they come from interstate and all over the joint. I mean, like, they must think it's a great thing. So it really is. Everyone's put in a lot of work to get this series up and going, and it's good to be running up the pointy end, and me, Mick and Colin, and it's good we all live around the same area, and we're all stick it into each other and that. So we stick it into Mick tonight, they would stick it into him now.
There we go, a bit of controversy between the drivers, close mates, so that's what we love about the Victorian sprint car racing. We wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
No worries, thanks for that.